Okay, you guys, how are you? This is Asadah. I am your crypto queen. Some people call me the Harriet Tubman of cryptos. Gotta love that. Anyway, we are here today to get some basics about Bitcoin because it is the world's economy evolving. There's some bad things happening in the world, but we are a part of the good things happening in the world. And so we are going to go over some of the things we need to know going into this next millennium in terms of economy. It's time to get the power. All the marching and stuff is needed, but that financial empowerment, that's what takes us to the next level. So let us get it started. All right, so what do we know about this little child? Well, we're going to go over a roadmap today of information, okay? And so the first thing is the global scope of Bitcoin. We're going to look at that. We're also going to look at crypto definitions because you need to know some of that before we go on, right? Then we're going to get an idea of how the wealthy are using Bitcoin. And then we'll show you how to start using it for yourself in addition to learning how to make it, okay? So listen up, guys. Listen up, listen up, listen up, listen up. I'm not a financial advisor, okay? This data today is only for informational purposes. And this presentation is not intended to substitute you getting your professional tax or financial advice from your financial planner, okay? You want to use your money at your own discretion, all right? So I like to show this video because it's going to give you a sense of how the world is experiencing Bitcoin, and that it's not just me, it's not just you, it's the world that's adopting Bitcoin. So let's take a look at how it's perceived and how it's used.
The digital world is a part of our DNA now. It's how we share our experiences, how we consume our entertainment, how we stay in touch with our loved ones. This is how we used to send letters, to travel, to make phone calls and shoot movies. Mankind invented software and technologies, breaking every distance, border, difficulty, and pulling the world instantly closer together. But what about banking? Think about it. Billions of people in the world have no access to financial tools. Borders and the system create barriers. We trusted banks, but they collapsed time and time again. They take hundreds of billions in fees from us. Bitcoin doesn't care where you're born, what color your skin is, or where you are in the world. It's an open network. It's maintained equally by people all over the world. Anyone can verify the transactions, and it happens instantly. For just a few cents, you can send any amount of money to anywhere in the world. Bitcoin is a global community of inclusion, an invitation to participate in an open world. Join us today, start a Bitcoin wallet, and help us shape the future.
You hear that, guys? A global community of inclusion. That's what this webinar is about today. We are here from all countries around the world, and it is time for us to see that there are no barriers anymore to getting the job done. So I like to show this quote by Richie Atwaru. There he goes. Woo, woo. But he says, Bitcoin looks like the internet 40 years ago. Now, 40 years ago, guys, I didn't know anything about an internet, cell phone, nothing. You understand? But that just gives you an idea of how Bitcoin is perceived in the world. Really, people just don't know. So you can't get discouraged if people say, oh, I don't know, that's a scam. No, people just don't know. So you are here to get the information so that they do know, okay? Now, there are 5 things that I'm going to want you to know that you actually will know before you leave here today. And I'm going to make sure of it. Number 1, you're going to know the meanings of words that are relative to this industry of cryptocurrency, okay? Next, you're going to learn a new system on how to create 2 ways to make money through Bitcoin, okay? I'm also going to show you how to take a one-time small amount of money and turn it into a plethora of money, a whole lot of money, okay? And we also want to make sure that you get an idea of the amounts of money that you can create. There's no ceiling on it, okay? And then I'm going to show you some steps on how to make this happen, all right? Now, this is what you got to know. See that beautiful Bitcoin there? That's great. But money is changing, guys, all right? It's changing again. And so while cowrie shells might have been money at one point, right? That changed to dollar bills, okay? And all countries have this paper money, right? But now it's changing to cryptocurrency, okay? Just simple. You know, people who had those shells were like, what? I don't want that money. I don't want paper. But that's what happened. But now, and think about it, it's not so odd because we pretty much do a lot of our transactions digitally, from debit cards and credit cards to direct deposit and Uber, all these different things that we transact digitally now. But see, the currency itself is becoming digital, okay? And keep in mind that Bitcoin's been around for about 10 years, so don't be afraid. We're moving forward, all right? So let's define cryptocurrency. It's simply a digital currency or decentralized system of exchange that uses advanced cryptography for security. So what does that mean? That just simply means that the money is digital, as we mentioned, right? And we're going to go over some of these other words, but it's not like, you know, yen, you know, euro, you know, peso, right? Those belong to different countries, the types of currency. But now cryptocurrency is global. You can use it anywhere around the world. And so that's why we love Bitcoin. Now, cryptography, what does that mean? It's the procedures, processes, and methods of making and using secret writing as codes or ciphers. So cryptography is the science behind cryptocurrency. It's why it is safe, okay? And so people sometimes say stuff like, can my cryptocurrency get hacked? And it's like, no, that's not the deal. You'd be more inclined to get hacked because they know what your name is and maybe your social. But with cryptography, the science of that keeps it safe, and you are identified by a code that can open tons of doors for you, all right? Oh, this is very good. Decentralized. What does that mean? To distribute the administrative powers or functions of a central authority over a less concentrated area. So the money we use now in your country is centralized. It means that there's a central organization or a government that is over that money. But Bitcoin is happily decentralized. That means no one person, no one organization owns it. It is owned by you. It is owned by me. I was talking to someone the other day, and they were saying how somebody made millions at doing whatever they did. And I said, not after Uncle Sam come take it. Not after that government come get some of that money. But if you make $1 million in Bitcoin, it's really yours. It's yours. It's yours in your wallet, in your possession, and protected by your codes. Now, I love to show this video because you're going to see some people you know, right? Not only are you going to see how they use Bitcoin, but you're going to hear some predictions about Bitcoin that have already happened. So I'm glad you're getting yourself a position. Let's take a look at what they have to say.
Bitcoin and things like it is the equivalent of the red pill, okay? We are entering a completely world of uncharted water right now.
Have you made any investments in Bitcoin?
So, I mean, I personally own Bitcoin in my hedge fund. I own Bitcoin in my fund. I own Bitcoin in my private account. It is a huge deal. It's a huge, huge, huge deal. Because what you're talking about right now is for the next 3 to 5 years, an unbelievably better store of value. It is gold 2.0.
I think this is a currency that's really going to work eventually.
Well, I think it is working, and there will be other currencies like it that may be even better. But in the meantime, there's a big industry around Bitcoin, and People have made fortunes out of Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, there is no Bitcoin company, there is no Bitcoin building, there's not even a Bitcoin server anywhere that you could shut down. It is completely distributed. That's what's unique about Bitcoin. It is, for the first time, a way for the two of us to exchange value online without a third-party intermediary. Until the invention of Bitcoin, for you and me to exchange money online, we had to employ a third party, like PayPal, like Visa, like MasterCard, right? And we live in the 21st century. If we want to have a video call to China, we can do that for free. But to send a couple $100, which is essentially just ones and zeros being moved around, costs 5% plus takes over a day.
Bitcoin is exciting because it shows how cheap it can be. Bitcoin is better than currency in that you don't have to be physically in the same place, and of course for large transactions currency can get pretty inconvenient.
You'll see Bitcoin trading at 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. Rick Falkvenia does an excellent analysis. He predicts that Bitcoin will capture between 1 and 10% of the global Forex market, which implies a price of between $100,000 to $1 million per Bitcoin. Most of the people who are on the sidelines not buying Bitcoin today will start to buy Bitcoin when it gets over 1,000, and then a greater percentage of people will definitely plow into Bitcoin when it starts to get over 10,000.
It's still predicting Bitcoin $10,000 per Bitcoin in 3 years.
Casares, he is the CEO of Zappo, which is a Bitcoin wallet and Bitcoin vault.
I think it's mostly a very positive thing. I think we're going to see ups and downs like with any other emerging technology, but I think Bitcoin is here to stay, and it makes sense that it be taxed and treated like any other.
So let's make a bold call here. In 10 years, what do you think Bitcoin will be worth? One Bitcoin?
Between $500,000 and $1 million.
A lot of people are just seeing the charts and thinking, how high will it go? What I'm doing is counting backwards. I mean, this is a transactional currency, and it is a store of value. As such, it is a product and a service competing on a very tangible market for stores of value and for transactional currencies. So what is the size of that market?
Right, and this is important.
And how big a market share can Bitcoin realistically take within a foreseeable time frame? When you ask that question, then you come up with a market cap of Bitcoin total, and then you divide that by the number of Bitcoin in circulation by your estimated time, and seeing how Chinese are buying Bitcoin like crazy. I actually had to adjust this number upwards, but then you come up with a number of about $2 to $5 million per Bitcoin.
I suggest that everyone go back to buy one Bitcoin. Not too much, only one is enough. If everyone in this world, people, just to go back buy one Bitcoin, the Bitcoin value go to the $1 million. And when the Bitcoin have $1 million, all around the world will be crazy, and everyone will be the follow, and the other digital currency just to be be grandson of the Bitcoin. So for me, I think for a lot of people, they don't exactly understand why it's Bitcoin.
Is Bitcoin the currency of the future, or is it the payment system they're developing?
Bingo, it's the payment system. It's the blockchain encryption, and they're interesting things. I think Bitcoin, or the really blockchain encryption that's behind it, has a greater ability to bring more of the world's population out of poverty than anything we've seen.
If you're new to Bitcoin, take your time to go out there and Google it and learn about it. It truly is one of the most important inventions in the history of humankind, and certainly the most important invention since the internet. Go out there, make a Bitcoin wallet, get involved, start using it, learn about all the positive ways in which this is going to improve the lives of every single person on the planet. Get involved, do it today. It's going to help everybody. Thank you.
I love it, guys, because we get to take our destiny into our own hands and utilize something that's been around Bitcoin's been around for almost 10 years, if not 10 years. So it's time to be at the head of, still not too late, be at the head of a movement. And from what I'm about to show you, I love the fact that this is the first time I see a movement happening without having to see some adversity drive it. So let's get some clarity on that. So Bitcoin, what is it? It's a type of digital currency that uses state-of-the-art cryptography and can be issued in any fractional denomination. And so Bitcoin, you guys, you don't have to have a full, let's say it's $94,000 now. You don't have to have a full 94, not 94,000. That's a premonition. 9,400 if I didn't say that. But if it's $9,400 for Bitcoin now, you don't have to have that total amount to get some. We say just get 0.016% of a Bitcoin and start your process there. So you can actually get it in fractional denominations and continue to grow from there. But I want to define something else that was mentioned, and that's blockchain, okay? Blockchain is a continuously growing list of records called blocks, which are linked and using secured, using cryptography. And so basically, the blockchain is like a ledger, okay? So if we make a transaction, then that transaction will be recorded on the blockchain. It also makes it so that if I send you $10,000 worth of Bitcoin, then that's going between you and I, not between PayPal or some other financial institution. It is peer-to-peer, person-to-person, and blockchain makes that possible, all right? Now, I must tell you, I don't know about all countries, but I think I see it arising that there are at least 23 countries that don't accept US dollars, okay? Now that's big because, you know, US dollar, that used to be king, but not anymore because US dollars have not been backed by gold, you guys, since 1971. Hold on. I was born in 1971, okay? That means that we've been bamboozled, but there's no gold backing the money. And so Bitcoin, though, you can use anywhere. And I'm sure, look at your countries. I mean, because I know in China, I don't even think they use paper anymore. I think it's all digital. So just keep your eye out. Bitcoin's rising in value. All right, now, that's the cross out. No US dollars, please. Get that out of here. All right, if your mic is open, I want you to just make sure that you mute your mic, okay? Now, in America, I'm not sure about in other countries, but I think the ideology is pretty much the same, that you should be saving money in a savings account, right? And so we're not against saving money. It's just, where do you save it? In a bank, look at this. This is talking about, at best, you getting 1.5% on your money. No, we're not going to do that anymore. I'm actually going to show you how you can make your money go up 300 and 400% more than what you put into the system. So watch what we learn. Now, businesses everywhere, before we even get into the breakdown, we need to understand that businesses everywhere are beginning to accept Bitcoin, guys. Look at this. A 2020 survey reveals that 36% of small to medium businesses in the US accept Bitcoin. That's a cute little percentage now. You yourself, if you're an entrepreneur, you can actually start to accept Bitcoin as long as you have a digital wallet. And when you do, you will actually have money made that not only is privy just to you, but if I spend $100 worth of Bitcoin with you today and Bitcoin's value goes up, now you're talking about that $100 worth of Bitcoin could be $200 worth of Bitcoin, $250. I mean, it goes up even after the transaction is made. So you want to accept Bitcoin. This is called adoption, okay? And look at all of these companies, some of which you've seen: Whole Foods, AT&T, Starbucks. Oh, I saw my logo popped up. Oh, yeah, accepted as well. Subway sandwiches. Very important, because we're starting to see more and more companies accept Bitcoin. And like I said, if you have a business, you want to do it too. You can even buy cars in Bitcoin now. And they say you can get the car for less because they don't have to go through the same paperwork, nor do they have to go through the same taxes to get you that car. So you want to do that. Now, you can do Bitcoin all by yourself. And what that means is, I mean, some people do trading or what have you, and they do Bitcoin, watch it go up and down. If Bitcoin goes up, they feel great because it's like, wow, my money went up. But if Bitcoin goes down, they don't feel so great because their money went down too. But we here in this particular club, we do not mind what it does because we do this together and you can do it too. If you do this together, even when Bitcoin goes up and down, you still get a lot of money, and I'm going to show you how. Now, we are in a club called the Massive Leverage System, okay? MLS Bitcoin Club, not MLM. Now, nope, that stands for multi-level marketing. And those are different business models, but the MLS Bitcoin Club, that stands for Massive Leverage System, we're actually taught how to leverage Bitcoin. It's very, very different in so many ways. I didn't invent it though. There's a brother by the name of Darry Perkinson. We more affectionately call him Wall Street. And why he's so ideal for this journey is because, one, he's a computer engineer. And so we do have a fully automated system, videos. We have a back office where we can track our production, track our statistics. It makes it seamless to grow here. And then he's a master trader. So we're talking about the knowledge of not only trading, but we learn about HELOCs, home equity loans, and how to live mortgage free. We learn about credit, how to have extreme credit to the point where you don't just have a good credit score, you also have a large credit limit, not $1,000, but how about $100,000 in liquidity? Then we learn about insurance policies and how your family should be living off a policy when we're living. It's called a life insurance policy, not a death insurance policy. So he shows you how to do that and use that as a bank as well. And I love to show that he was a drill sergeant because with that comes leadership. And so the idea of and the implementation of leadership is always there. And I love that. Now, leverage. Let me just define that because this is the massive leverage system. It's the use of a small initial investment or borrowed funds to gain a very high return in relationship of one's investment. So while this is not an investment club at all, we're looking at the portion of taking a small amount of money and turning it into a large amount of money, okay? That is what we're gonna show you how to do. Now, the MLS Bitcoin Club, we grow. Why and how? We follow each other. That's what we do. We just follow each other, and so we end up getting paid on each other over and over and over again. It's a beautiful system. But I'm gonna show you how we make money. And remember I said there are two ways? Well, I'm gonna show you the first way. And I'm gonna liken it to a house because we know what it means to rent. We know what it means to have a house and pay for it and all of that, or having a home or property that makes you money. So I'm gonna use that as an analogy just to make it clear, okay? So you say, you know what? I keep hearing about this Bitcoin club. What about this Bitcoin club? First of all, it never holds your Bitcoin. That's so important because there are organizations out there where people put up money and then the company disappears and your money gone. Well, we don't do that here, all right? So the club never holds your money. Next, you want to join. Remember I said to just get 0.0167 worth of Bitcoin? You do that. We have a $99 annual fee, $99 for the whole year. Yes. So you take that plus 0.0167 and you can get a Bitcoin calculator and find out in your currency how much is 0.0167 in Zambia. It's kwacha. You got to look up the kwacha. Or if you want to go to Nigeria, you got to see what's up with the naira. So you can punch that all into the calculator and find out what 0.016 is. So you pay your fee, you got the 99 in there, and you are now the landlord of your own home. So you say, you know what? I need this house to make me some money. It costs me a lot of money to do. Sounds good. And so this is what you do. You start to fill it out. You look at your top floor, okay? Your A floor. And you say, I'm going to get somebody to come on in here. And when they do, this person comes in and you're going to get 50% of the Bitcoin that they bring in. And you're going to get, guess what? You're going to get 50% of that $99 annual fee too. Hold on. Bravo. We love you, Wall Street. You're going to get 50% of that too, okay? Now, you say, I'm going to fill up another lovely apartment. It's like an apartment. This house is so big. So you get person number two, you brought them, and you're going to get 50% of their Bitcoin, and you're going to get 50% of that fee, that annual fee. So you get the 49. Now, this is a big house. And you say, maybe these guys can help me fill this house up. So you say, hey guys, if you help me fill this house up, I will give you some of the money. And they're like, what? I never lived anywhere where people gave me money before. So good, they're gonna do it. So you see this next floor, right? Your B floor, your bottom floor. So the first tenant says, I'm gonna help you out. And they get you another tenant. You give them 50% and you take the other 50%. But check this out. What if you didn't do that? What if you yourself went and got another person to live there and you didn't wait for them to find the person? Well, if that happens, you can also get 100%. In addition, not in addition to the 50, you would get 100% if you found them, and you'd get 50% if the tenant found them, okay? And if you found them, you'd get the 49 as well. Well, this is gonna happen again. Here's the next tenant. You would give 50% if your other tenant found them, but you would get 100% if you found them, and the $49. Same thing would happen in the next apartment. You would give them 50% if they help find them, or you would get 100% if you found them, and the $49. Now, I just want us to take a look for this. Take a look. 5 times. Are you telling me that 5 times Bitcoin has gone into your pocket, into your digital wallet? That's major, okay? So Bitcoin's all over the place, just falling all over the place. But something special happens in that last apartment, okay? Let's take a look and see what that is. So tenant number 6 comes in. Guess what's gonna happen? The Bitcoin is not gonna go into your wallet, but what it is gonna do, it's gonna open you up a new home. And when that new home opens up, these people, these other tenants are going to move right in there with you. Remember I said we follow each other? Once they finish filling up their own homes. So they're gonna follow you, and that's the beauty of that, okay? They're gonna follow you to your new house, okay? So that is the first way that we make money in this club, okay? It's called cycling. So the cycle means to change states that upon completion produces a final state identical to the first one. So you saw the new house, it looks just like the first one, and people are gonna follow you, and you're gonna keep cycling. Every time you fill up a house, that's a cycle, okay? So you'll hear me talk about that, and that's not hard to do. We just had a lovely woman by the name of Angelique Wren. She filled up a whole house in 20 minutes. And you know what that equaled? About $700 made in 20 minutes. Let's find out how to do that, okay? Now, that's the first way. But remember I said I was going to teach you a second way to make money here? The second way is to upgrade. We also call it leveling up. Level up to the next level. So what does that mean? To promote to a higher grade or rank, which is what you do here. You start going to a higher level because there's more money for you to acquire. Now, let's take a look. There's actually 10 different levels that you can grow from here because different people are at different places financially. While you can get 0.0167 of a Bitcoin, which equals, I don't know, like $150 something right now. Some people have more than that to put to the table, okay? So let's take a look at what that looks like. So before we start, do remember, and when people say to you, oh, that's like an MLM, or no, because this club does not take monthly fees from you. That's a beautiful thing. Money's not being taken out. Now, you say, okay, I'm going to come in at starter, which we all come in at starter. That's not a choice. We just come in at starter. So we pay 0.016 to get in the level of starter. But look at that price on top, guys. You see that 0.48 rather? That's 3 times what you just paid. Okay, 16 times 3, 48. That 3 times means that you have a profit, all right? So you take a little bit of that profit and you upgrade to the next level. So look at that. You might pay 0.04 to get in that level, but now you have 0.12 when you cycle out. 3 times. Take some of that profit, upgrade to level 2, take some of that profit, upgrade to level 3, take some of that profit, upgrade to level 4. Uh-oh. Level 5. It's called the sweet spot for a reason. I'll get to that. But you take, matter of fact, let me stop, excuse me, and explain. So you have a sweet spot. And why is level 5 a sweet spot? Because look what happens. Remember the guy in the video said you only need 1 Bitcoin? Well, when you leave level 5, you have 3 Bitcoin. And so it's a sweet spot because even a little bit before this, the numbers that you start making have commas in them now. Okay? Commas. We call it the comma club. And so you're getting 3 Bitcoin in level 5 alone, okay? But I'm going to show you a little bit more in a minute. But you take the profit from level 5, upgrade to level 6, upgrade to level 7, upgrade to level 8, and you can upgrade to level 9. Now, do you see that 36 on top of level 9, guys? That's not $36. That's not 36 Rand. That is 36 Bitcoin. Okay? 36 Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is $10,000, which it is very close to right now, you can multiply 36 times that 10,000. And that's the number of Bitcoin you're looking at in this club. Okay? That's major. So the bottom numbers are the numbers that reflect what you need to pay for the level. But the top numbers represent what you're going to get when you cycle out of that level. And the reason that the card pops up is because when you're at level 5, when you cycle out twice, because remember those houses are just, you fill them up, another one's forming, you fill it up, another one's forming. When you do it twice, the club is going to give you an extra $500 worth of Bitcoin just because you're fabulous. And you did that. And now you can take that $500 worth of Bitcoin and go pay a car note or be able to transfer that no matter what country you are and go ahead and pay a car note or whatever you desire. Okay. So I want to just share a little bit about why the company's so good, because I hear a lot of people say things about, oh, that sounds like a scam. Oh, that sounds like a, no, let me tell you why this club rocks hard. Number one, this is a financial safe space where you just keep creating cash flow and learning about finance all the time, okay? Then, hey, how did that get up there twice? Who knows? It's okay. But anyway, it's also a place where it's a club where families actually thrive well here. I've never heard of making a wealth plan before, but now we actually come together and we are making wealth plans, okay? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And in regards to the second point, this space rewards its members with Bitcoin all the time. And I don't know of a lot of places, or really any place, that's constantly rewarding its members with Bitcoin, okay? This is also a great business model where you're always on top of your community. Now, this is just in light of people say, is that a pyramid scheme? Hey, pyramid schemes, I don't really know exactly what they're talking about, so I would ask them what they're talking about. But a pyramid, you're not on the bottom trying to scrounge your way to the top. You're actually always at the top of your community. And so you're not feeling any pressure of not making money. So just that alone lets you know we're not that. There are no monthly fees that get taken from us. There are no qualifications, meaning you don't have to wait until you do one thing for you to get money, and no qualifications, right? And then it's a wonderful space where you really are around a lot of financial minded people who are not stuffy like they know everything, but are really here to learn about finance and grow financially. And then finally, where in the world can you go and on a daily basis get taught by a multimillionaire who trains you to do the same thing? It sure ain't college. No, it's not. And those people have jobs anyway. They're usually not multimillionaires, but we do have that in our club as well. Okay. Now, how much can you make? Let's talk a little bit about that, because we see and we saw decimals as they related to what you can earn here. But let's look at some actual dollars. And so look at the first house. See that first house? You're looking at the fact that if you brought everybody in that first house yourself, this is the type of money you can make. Now, this chart was done when Bitcoin was like 7,000 and change. It's about 9,000 and something now. But let's look at the first house. So let's say you brought $120 worth of Bitcoin to the table. Well, remember, you get 50% on the top and 50% on the bottom level, right? So $60 in the first house, $60 in the second apartment rather, and then on the bottom you're making 120, 120, and another 120. So you're talking about $480, and you only brought in 120. Okay, I'm using U.S. dollars as an example, you guys, but you know you'll get the ratio based on your currency, right? Now let's look at the second house. You only brought 2 people, right? Because remember, those other tenants may have brought people. So if that happened, you'd make 50% in the first house. There's $60. You'd make another $60 in the second apartment. But look at the bottom. You're still going to make 60%. I mean, you're still going to make 50%. $60 in the first apartment, $60 in the next, $60 in the next. Anybody that falls on your bottom floor ever makes you money. So that's what you want to know. And so now look at starter. I forgot, guess what? We didn't even add the $49 fee. And so if you add the $49, half of that annual fee, you really come away with not $480 if you fill up the house by yourself, but more like over $700 if you fill up the house by yourself. All right. Now that's in the starter level. But what about level 1? If you level up, look at that. You might have brought $330 to the table, but you can leave with $1,300. That's massive. Look at the next one. You might have brought $855 to the table, but you can leave with $3,420. Really? What about this? You might have brought $1,632 to the table, but you can leave with $6,500. Beautiful. Look at level 4. You might have brought $3,850 to the table, but you can leave with $15,000. Look at level 5. You might have brought $7,800 to the table, but you can leave with $31,000. Okay. Look at level 9. It's raining Bitcoin all over the place. You may have brought $92,000 to the table, but you can leave with $371,000. Here's the deal, guys. You see how you get 50% on the top level and 100% on the bottom level? Well, here's the thing. You were looking at levels. Sometimes people come into the club through you, and guess what? They might pass you because maybe they had more money to buy more levels, or maybe they just got a lot of people and moved faster. But in this club, even if your person moves past you, you're still going to get 10% of whatever they brought to the table. And so like this level 9, true, you get somebody coming in above you and you didn't get to level 9, 10% could be like $25,000, $30,000. That's cute. Nothing to worry about, okay? So it's always ways to benefit here. Now, I just want to kind of go over some of the ways that money is growing here, because if you have a job, you know that you make money that one particular way, pretty much. But here, you're always rewarded Bitcoin every time you bring in a referral, and the same day. So that means if you look through life and you refer people to a movie or you refer them to a good restaurant, you didn't get paid for that. But if you refer them to this club, you're going to get paid for that, and not $10 either. You're going to get paid in the hundreds, okay? Now, you keep cycling in every level continuously. So remember filling up that house. Every time a house gets filled, you are moving on to a new house, and that keeps happening over and over again. Now, remember, every time you cycle out, you are making another 300 to 400% every time that happens of the money that you initially brought. But if you think about it, when you brought 2 people in, just the 2 top level windows, the 2 top level apartments was pretty much your money back anyway. So everything after that is profit, okay? Now, when the value of Bitcoin increases, if it's 9,400 now, it could be 10,000 tomorrow. And when it increases, the money in your wallet, the Bitcoin in your wallet increases as well. This is important, this next step, because you're going to hear people say, oh, Bitcoin crashed. Oh, Bitcoin went down. Well, if you were doing it by yourself, you might be concerned because, like I said, that's the only thing you're looking at is this Bitcoin going up and down. But check this out. When Bitcoin's value goes down here, sometimes we have more people joining, and so your money is going up, even though the market went down. Too bad for those by themselves. Come on over to the club because we do benefit even if Bitcoin's value goes down. Now, Once you've gone through all those levels, guys, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's only 9 though. Once you've gone through all of those, remember how I said you had to take a little bit of money, your profit, and upgrade to the next level? Well, once you're in the level, you don't have to keep doing that. Money just grows, and you just have all of the money you keep making as you cycle in those levels. All right. Now, by the time you get to level 5, remember,